Hello everybody and welcome back once again to another episode of XNVR Reviews. Today I'm taking a look at Kenshi, an indie title that's actually been available on Steam for a little while now, but is still currently in development. But you can purchase the game and play it in its current state. Now, I actually remember seeing this when it first popped up on Steam quite some time ago, and I was really excited by the prospect of this game. And it wasn't until the developers actually sent us a code so that we could try it out, give our opinion on it, that I actually got to play it. Because given that it was an indie title still in development, at the time, I was kind of poor and didn't really have money to take chances. But now that I've actually tried it, I think I was kind of right in not purchasing it. I'm not saying that this game is not worth supporting. It most definitely is. What the developers want to do is a great idea. It's a fantastic game concept, but at the moment it's just really not polished enough to warrant spending any money on it, especially if you're on quite a tight budget. Now, the reason I say this is definitely a game worth supporting is because the mechanics that are there and the game that the developers want to create is really an epic undertaking. When I first logged in and I actually got to see the map, I thought, my god, this is pretty damn big, but I didn't quite realise just how big until I started to walk to the nearest town. And it took me some considerable time, but on the map they were pretty close together. This is a really big game, which does lead me to another point. The vast majority of the map is desert. Some of it rocky, some of it mainly sandy and dunes. There are the odd parts where, there's a bit of vegetation, a change up in colour, but for my taste, not quite enough. This game needs a bit more variety, if I'm honest. I get that given the theme, the desert kind of suits it, but what with how long it takes to walk from one place to another, all that scenery looking the same can get really tiresome. I found myself just opening the map and setting my character to auto-run from one place to another, and then just leaving the computer. I would go off, grab myself a drink, go have a vape or something like that, and by the time I got back, I was pretty much there, and that was okay with me, but I didn't feel like I'd missed anything, because I'd already seen the first 5-6 minutes of scenery, and once you've seen that, you've kind of seen most of it. And not only was the scenery all very samey and travelling a bit laborious, but the material farming was painfully slow. I found, again, I would just set my character to start mining and then walk away from the computer, because it took a long time just to get only a few ores, which would net me not even a few hundred cracks, I think, for the currency. But if I was to, go over this game in extreme detail, I would have to be here for a long time, because there is a lot to this game, and it's just a few bits and pieces that really need the work to make this a much better title. And the vast majority of what is implemented, is pretty well done. I didn't really come across many bugs. Okay, there were one or two clipping issues and walking into buildings, but other than that, the game works brilliantly. I didn't find myself getting stressed out at buggy mechanics at all. Also, the fact that when you start off, you are really, really weak, and if you run into a fight, well, you best start running in the other direction, otherwise you're going to die. This is a brilliant idea, and when it has had a bit more time, a bit more work, a bit more polish, this will be a brilliant game. But the only way it's going to get there is if the community have faith in it and actually purchase the title. So for those of you who do have a bit of disposable cash who can support these indie developers, go ahead, please, because they do deserve it. But for those of you who really need to pick and choose what you spend your money on carefully, this might be a title to wait for. And given how long it's already been on Steam and the state it's currently in, it could be some time yet before I'd say it is worth spending that little bit of cash you have. Other than that, like I say, fantastic. I did quite enjoy the game, but I thought at first I was going to do a let's play, but once I actually started the game up and got into it, I thought, wow, no, this is far too slow going. It's going to take forever. But anyway, that's enough for this one. Fantastic game. If you have the spare cash, support the developer. If not, definitely keep an eye on it, add it to your wish list, and just wait a little while until the game has a bit more development time and a bit more polish. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.